Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. And I got a question from somebody. They said, how much cheating is okay with Japanese girls, and how much does it really happen if you're in a relationship with a Japanese girl? But you know what, man? That's a good question. And I don't think it's a yes or no answer or a particular number or anything like that. But what I would say is, there's a perception that just Asian women in general are innocent, very loyal. They would never do anything to put you in harm's way. That's like a worldwide perception of a lot of Asian girls, especially from places like Japan and China. And I haven't found that to be true. What you have to understand, you have different types of Japanese girls. And when it comes to cheating, I think in Japan, it's very interesting because in Japan, I think if you're a married person, married to a Japanese, even if it's a Japanese couple, most Japanese couples, they're not that close. I'm not saying all, but there's a lot of them. I'm saying it's quite common to see a Japanese couple together, but they're not that close. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I remember it's been times when I was in Japan. I've been invited to certain events or parties or something like that, and it's been times where I didn't even know that certain people were together until it was time for them to leave. And that's when I saw them walk out the door together and get in the car. So the whole time of the party event, I'm talking to her, right? And I didn't even know she was married. This is quite common, you know what I'm saying, in Japan. It's not unusual at all. So they're not that close, and a lot of couples don't spend a lot of time together. And even if they're girlfriends and boyfriends, just dating, they don't spend a lot of time together either. They might be engaged. They still won't spend a lot of time together. This is kind of common. It's not everybody, but it's common. So, in Japan, what you have, I think when it comes to cheating, you have cheating is kind of something that they don't talk about. Because if you have a conversation about cheating to the average Japanese person, they'll get very uncomfortable. As a matter of fact, Japanese people tend to get uncomfortable talking about a lot of stuff. You can't really tell, if you're a foreigner, you can't really tell try to talk to a Japanese person about some type of hardship that you might be having in Japan, or you can't really tell another Japanese person about your relationship that you might be having with your wife or your husband if you're a foreigner. They just don't. They'll get very uncomfortable. They might ask you, "Hey, what do you want me to do about it?" There's a lack of compassion there. It's like, to them, living in the United States of America, we have a problem. We talk about it. We express ourselves, right? In Japan, they don't want to hear that. That's complaining to them, right? So with all that being said, they just, whatever they do, they just go elsewhere. Whatever, whatever the problem they might be having, they just go somewhere else, go elsewhere and get it covered. Right? If it's another woman or another man or whatever, you know. But they just don't talk about it because, see, it's the image. Image. It's very important in Japan. Very important to a lot of women, men and women. It's the image over everything else. See, they want the image and the perception of them being in a nice, healthy marriage, relationship, etc. So they will do anything to protect that image. So in Japan, you have love hotels. They're everywhere. They're in the city. They're in the small towns. They're in the country. They're out they're in the boondocks. You have love hotels everywhere. Love hotels, if you don't know what that means, it's temporary hotels where you can stay by the hour, and if you want to have sexual relationships with somebody else on the side, these hotels, the ownership of these hotels, they protect the privacy of these people. So it's like, they don't even ask you your name at these hotels. They don't even ask you for ID. None of that shit. Not at all. As a matter of fact, some of these hotels, they have parking space. You can drive your car in, and the fucking door comes down after you pull in there, because they want to protect the image, your privacy, and that's how it is over there. So cheating is more of a part of the relationship, in a sense. Now, of course, everybody doesn't cheat. There's no absolutes. There's a 100% of anything. But cheating or having sexual relationships on the side, on either side, male and female side, it seems like in Japanese culture that it's tolerated. It's kind of it's to be expected, especially when the women start getting older and they don't look as well as they used to. Maybe she pick up a little weight after she had the kids, or maybe they just never been that close in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So cheating is kind of a part of the relationship. It can be. It just varies on the couple and the women. And a lot of the women, they're kind of they reward guys, the Japanese guys, or maybe the guy, if he's a foreigner that she's married to. They reward guys based on their behavior. So a lot of times they don't really have anything to do with how they feel about the guy. In the majority of the time, it seems to be all about how the guy behaves more than anything else. So that's the way how they do it. It's kind of interesting. How they go about protecting the image of marriage or relationship, or it's all about image over everything. And if you try and talk to a Japanese person about anything involving Japan or anything involving Japanese people, they're gonna get very uncomfortable. It's not gonna go well. You know what I'm saying? You can't really talk to the average Japanese person about anything involving Japan or Japanese people, or you can't even talk to your wife if she's Japanese. It's very rare that you can talk to a Japanese person about anything, because there's a lack of compassion there. There's no empathy there. This is why a lot of foreigners, a lot of people from America, they go to Japan. They usually don't make it after about what, 6 months, less than 6 months. They'll get a 1 year visa, and within 6 months they already packed up and got the hell up out of there, because Japan is a very difficult place to live, and there's no compassion. There's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of discrimination. So on a just social, economic level, whatever. But there's pros and cons of being over there, as in everywhere. But one thing about Japan is you don't have to, worry about being harassed or anything like that, or you don't have to, cops don't bother you, or any of the bullshit that we put up with here in America as the African American people. We don't gotta put up with that shit in Japan. But at the same time, if you can't read and speak the language, it's gonna be very difficult. There's always gonna be a communication barrier, because everyone doesn't speak English in Japan. So, it is what it is. So, if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel. Check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. And if you have any more questions about Japanese girls or your Japanese experience, shoot me a message by clicking the link below. So until next time, Sharp King is out. Peace.